Welcome to progeCAD Basics for Beginners. This is Text and Annotation Basics. To find links to any downloadable resources available for this video, make sure to check the description box below. In all honesty, it would take half a dozen of these videos to fully cover text and annotations. I'll be demonstrating the basics here. Two kinds of text entities, editing those entities, and managing the styles that define them. I'll also show you the basics of using MultiLeaders and managing their style. We'll start in the blank drawing and click on the Annotate tab of the ribbon. Your tools are in the text panel to the left. I'll start with the basics of creating two kinds of text we have in progeCAD. Notice the icon on the left is labeled Multiline text, which is typically referred to as MText, which is also the actual name of the entity. I'll click the icon to start the command. The cursor will change and prompt you for the first corner of a new text block. You'll also see a small ABC by the cursor. This is called the MText jig string. It is a sample of the current text style and can serve as a visual reminder for you. Creating MText in progeCAD is very similar to how you create text in other graphics programs. Without naming names, think of adding text to the slideshow that you might use in a presentation. I'll finish my text box and type in my text. To accept the text and end the command, single-click outside of the edit box. Most people stick with using multi-line text these days, but there is another type. It's called single-line text, which doesn't have near the same flexibility of MText. I'll expand the icon where I found multi-text and select single-line text. It will prompt for a start point, so I'll click somewhere. Instead of a text box, you'll be asked for a height of the text. I'll accept the default and do the same for the angle. I'll get a flashing cursor, which is prompting me to enter text. Instead of clicking away from the text, I'll have to hit Enter to exit the text entry. So how did it know to use the font that it did? What about the text height or any other special feature? That's where the text style comes in. Notice the lower right corner of the first two panels of the Annotate tab. You'll see a small icon there. Whenever you see this icon, it means there is a style associated with the type of entity that panel contains. I'll click on the corner icon in the text panel and the Text Styles Manager will display. This is where you define the various text styles in your drawing. You might have one style for general text, another for headers, another for view callouts, and so on. I'll go through the dialog for you. In the upper left is the pull down of all your styles, displaying the one currently in use. In the upper right are buttons to create a new style, rename, or delete a style. Below that, in the text font section, is another pull down listing all fonts available to you. Here, you'll find the familiar TrueType fonts from your system, along with legacy SHX fonts that AutoCAD used for years. To the right of the font is the Style pull-down. Here you can specify features like italic, bold, or bold italic. To the right of the Text Preview panel is another important control. Notice the fixed height is set to 0. When set to 0, you'll be able to specify whatever height you want, but if you enter a value here, your text will be that value no matter what. Finally, below that you can set a custom width factor, an oblique angle, or choose backwards or upside down. I'll cancel to dismiss the dialog. The thing to remember is your text will take on the characteristics of the current text style. And of course, all styles that I may talk about should be defined in the template that you are using. Okay, it's time to edit your text. I'll start with a single line text. While there is an edit text icon in the ribbon, most people simply double-click on a text string. I'll do that. You'll enter edit mode, and the entire string will be highlighted. Perform your edits, and when you're done, click Enter. Notice it will remain in select text mode. If you really are done, hit Enter again to exit. Let's double-click on the multi-line text now. The interface will return to how it looked when creating the text, which includes the Contextual Editor ribbon tab. All of your editing tools that the font allows will be active here. Most require you to highlight the text in the edit box that you want to apply it to. This is where you can set various style aspects. You can make formatting changes, justification, add special symbols, bullets, or columns. Much of the same functionality that you'll find in your favorite word processing program, you'll find here as well. Just click outside the editor box to accept your edits. The other type of annotation to introduce is called MultiLeaders or MLeaders. While we do have access to the MLeader creation command, we don't have access to its style dialog, so I'm going to change my workspace to 2D drawing and annotate. Now we have the full MultiLeader panel, including the now familiar style icon. We'll see it in a moment, but first we'll create an MLeader, so I'll click on its icon. You'll enter the arrowhead point first, followed by the next point. The current style dictates that I can't continue selecting points, so it adds the leader landing and prompts me for MText. I'll type something in and click away from the text. If I hit enter, I'll be prompted for a new line. I'm going to select the leader portion of the MLeader now. Notice that the entire thing is highlighted. An MLeader is a single entity, text and all. Let's click on the style icon and see how we can define what an MLeader can look like. Since this is a new drawing, I only have the default style of standard, but this is where you would create and subsequently modify new styles. I'll just modify standard as an example. First, notice there are 3 tabs at the top. I'll go through each. The first one is Leader Format. Here, I can change the type from straight to spline to none. Note the handy preview box that shows you exactly how you're defining your object. I can specify color, line type, or line weight, what type of symbol to use as the arrowhead, along with its size. Finally, I can define the break size. The second tab, Leader Structure, allows me to define various constraints and how many leader points to use. I can tell it to use a landing or not, and if so, how long it is. And finally, I have some scaling options. The final tab is labeled as Content. Using the top pull down, you can set your MLeader to use either MText, a block, or nothing at all. When set to MText, I have different formatting and connection options to choose from. But if I change it to block type, the dialog changes, giving me various options, including some standard blocks to use. So, if you have standard notes that you call out with a hex box, you can use MLeaders for those. I'll select hexagon and OK to demonstrate. I'll close the initial box and make a new MLeader. This time, I get the hex at the end. So why are they called MultiLeaders, you ask? Because I can add or remove leaders to or from the MLeader object. From the panel, I'll select Add MultiLeader and select the one I want to alter. Just move your mouse to add as many new leaders as you like. Plus, I can remove them in the same manner with the Remove tool. You can find out more information, download their 30-day free trial, or purchase your own progeCAD license at www.progecad.com.